Hello teacher and hello everyone. My name is Lideth, and now let me present to all of you about my topic, which is talking about content-based instruction. And my team is also with Bong Yum Pana. And now let's talk about the contents. We have the introduction, rationale for content-based instruction, experience, and thinking about the experience. First, we talk about the communicative approaches. Communicative approaches is an approach to language teaching that emphasizes the communication as both the means and the ultimate goal of study. And Howard, 1984, stated that there are two versions of the communicative approach. The first is a strong version, and the second one is a weak version. The weak version identifies the way you are providing learners with opportunities to practice English for communicative purposes. For example, in the communicative language teaching (CLT), the students are provided with a great variety of practice in learning the forms with a particular function, for example, predicting or guessing. And the strong version of the communicative approach provides opportunities to learners in practicing the communication, and it identifies that the language is acquired through communication, even though in class or outside class. And there are three main approaches that give priority to communicating, such as content-based instruction, task-based, and participatory approaches. Some language educators might dislike the inclusion of content-based, task-based, and participatory approaches in the methods book, and they call this as syllabus types. And now let's talk about syllabus. A syllabus is a document that communicates information about specific academic courses or class and defines expectations and responsibilities. Content-based instruction, CBI, is an important approach in language education that provides second language learners with instruction in content and language. And CBI is thought to be the motivational approach with the motivate learner to learn a language effectively by using it in a real means of communication. And the idea is to make them become more independent, so they are able to learn effectively even outside the class. And CBI is used as a method of language teaching and to represent a great variety of forms and settings in which it takes place. It is thought that the term task is often used with reference for content and methodology of language teaching. Furthermore, within the strong version of communicative approach, the syllabus designed with the traditionalism and methodology. So sometimes it is difficult to achieve, but if we try, we will be more successful. And some educator might question the three different enough to be treated separately. And it is thought that content-based instruction is a project work. And other people have suggested that task-based and participatory approaches are a form of content-based instruction. And it should be known that these methods are brought together with the responsibility that students learn to communicate by communicating through each other. And now let's move to the rationale for content-based instruction. Using content from other systems in language courses is not a new idea. And the content in language have been classified as a particular profession or academic discipline. For this is usually thought of as teaching a language for specific purposes. And for in academic situation, we call it teaching a language for academic purposes, especially it occurs in school. And for the teaching a language for specific purposes, it is usually happen in a specific institution. And in the previous time, young learners learn at their workplace to read and write what they require from the people surrounding them. For example, being able to read the technical menus or guidelines. And for the competency-based instruction, learners learn language skills by studying vital life coping or survival skills, such as filling out job application, CV, or using the telephone or smartphone to chat or to communicate with the social medias. And the value of content-based instruction, CBI, is that it is not a language program, but it is the combination between learning of language with the learning of some other content. For example, music, sports, or other entertainment topics in which learners are interested. And it has been observed that academic subjects provide natural content for language study. And it is observed that the language across the curriculum movement for native English speakers in England, which was started in 1970, to combine the teaching of reading and writing together into all subject areas. And for example, in the United States, CBI instruction was begun to support English language learners in public schools. And it is known that when English language learners, ELL, were put together in regular school classes with native English speakers, some of them did not master either content or English because they are learning at the same time. On the other hand, when learners study English first, their study of academic content was delayed. In order to solve these problems, instructors should teach academic subjects such as history or science while also teaching the language in terms of their content. And the rapid growing of teaching the language to younger learners has taken place around the world because the government is not happy with the results of the learner. And in addition, the parents want to see their children to get succeed more. And teaching an additional language to young learners needs careful consideration with patience. And there are two important factors. First, it is important for children to start reading and writing in their native language before starting to read and write the second language. And secondly, it is important to know how children learn in order to develop programs that meets their needs. It is not easy, or it is not simply to say that the earlier the better, but it comes to language instruction. For instance, when learners do study academic subjects in another language, they need a great deal of assistance in understanding with clear learning objective. And therefore, teachers must have clear language objectives as well as content language objective for their lessons, so that they will learn effectively. And for instance, in terms of teaching English for IELTS, International English Language Testing System preparation courses, teachers should provide materials and instruction for learners to practice effectively in class and outside class. And it is require a lot of time and hard work to train with the right instructor. For example, in order to improve IELTS writing skills, students should learn how to identify the topics first, and after that, they ought to learn how to identify the task. The best way for them is to practice in class and outside class. And let's move to the experience. The classroom of a 6th grade class in an international school in Taipei is studying both geography, and English through content-based instruction. Most of the students are Chinese speakers, but there are several who speak Japanese natively and a few who cannot speak Korean. The English proficiency is at a low intermediate level, and the teacher asks them in English what a globe is. A few call out world, and other students make a circle with their arms, and others are silent, and the teacher take under her desk and take out a globe when she put it on the desk and ask the students what they know about it. And the students answer excitedly as they record their answers on the board. And when they have trouble explaining a concept, the teacher help them to explain or clarify the missing language. And next, the teacher prepares a handout based on a video understanding globes. The top section on the handout is entitled Some Vocabulary to Know. The teacher asks students to listen as he reads the 10 words: degree, distance, equator, globe, hemisphere, latitude, longitude, model, and parallel. And the teachers tell the students to do the dictoglos. The teachers read the students 2 paragraphs about Australia. And first, students are listen for the main idea, and the second, students are told to listen for details. And after that, teachers explain to the students that they should reconstruct what she has read as much as they can. 10 minutes later, she asks them to discuss their drafts with the partners, and the 2 partners should combine their draft into one, make it as close as the original as they can. And now let's move to talk about thinking about the experience. And here is the list of observations and principles. The observations stated that number 1, the class is studying geography through the target language. And the principles, both the content and the language are targets for learning. Number 2, the teacher asks the students what they know about a globe. And the principles, teaching should be on students' previous experience. And number 3, the teacher supplies the missing language when the students have trouble in explaining a concept in the target language. For the principles, the teacher scaffolds the linguistic content. Example helps learners say what it is they want to say by building a complete utterance together with the students, so that they will understand what the teachers explain clearly. And number 4, the students call out the answers excitedly as the teachers write them on the blackboard. And for the principles, when learners perceive the relevance of their language use, they are motivated to learn. And number 5, the observation stated that the teacher reads the new vocabulary and then the students watch a video entitled In Understanding Globes. And the principle stated that language is learned most effectively when it is used as a medium to convey content of interest to the students. So when students are interested to learn, they will get a lot of things from the teacher. And number 6, the students will in the vocabulary words in the blanks in the modified closed passage as they watch the video. And the principle stated that vocabulary is easier to acquire when there are contextual clues to help convey meaning. It is important to integrate all the skills as well as vocabulary and grammar in authentic context. And that's all for my presentation, and thank you. And now let's Bong Pana present to the next slide. Thank you.